rock to the rhythm, forth and back, forth and back.
All right, everybody, it's Rich Monier from Paul Marcus Photos, and coming back to you again with another quick review. A lot quicker than the last time. I probably did a half-hour video, but this time should only be a few minutes. But I wanted to talk about the Canon RF 50mm 1.2 lens, which I rented from lensrentals.com. Beautiful lens, great workmanship, heavy and big. Here is my Canon 50mm 1.4 EF lens. And this lens has to be 2 to 3 times larger and definitely 3 times heavier, if not more. I've been using this Canon EF 1.4 for some years now. This is a $350, $325 lens, and it has served me very well. I've been happy with it. I used to think it was totally sharp and great and beautiful and this, that, and the other, until you try it against this. This lens will blow the socks off of this in sharpness when you really zoom 100% into the photo and you look at somebody's eyelashes. You can see the sharpness is unbelievable. So they've done a great job on this. Side note, I'm filming myself on a Canon EOS R today, and my 24 to 70 2.8 Canon lens, the L series lens. So just to let you know that. And I'm filming this in HD, not 4K. So I've been very happy with my Canon EOS R. I can't, sing praises enough about the camera. I've loved it. So anyway, I want to run through a quick list of items that I think are beneficial. I need to mention about this lens. Canon 50mm 1.2. I was able to shoot it at 1.2. So shooting wide open, your pictures are going to be sharp. You're not going to have missed shots. You're not going to have camera shake, blurry things. The focal length thing is not going to mess you up. And that's sometimes I was experiencing on my 5D camera. I would have a 1.8 lens, 1.4 lens, whatever, and I would shoot something that low and the pictures would be blurry or soft. I think it's definitely going into the EOS R. The EOS R's focusing system with these lenses is so good that it doesn't miss focus. So that's kind of more of a camera attribute versus a lens, but coupled together, I'm sure they work together. So I was able to shoot this lens at 1.2 and the pictures look great. They're sharp, the bokeh is real clear, blurry in the back and creamy, and so it looks great. The other thing I was able to do with this lens, I was able to shoot handheld at low shutter speeds, and same thing, tack sharp. Camera shake didn't seem to affect what was going on. I think again it could be the EOS R camera and this lens tied together. Now you're able to handhold in low shutter speed conditions. The dynamic range on some of my shots that I took, subject is perfectly lit. Background could be dark. I could bring those shadows up. No problem in the photo looking over processed, color fringing, weird stuff happening with pink lines and none of that kind of stuff. It was chromatic aberrations and all that kind of stuff didn't seem to happen. So your dynamic range is a function of the camera, but the lens as well, coupled together, you're able to kind of rescue some of your shadowy areas or dark areas. One test I did with the 50 1.4 versus the 1.2 is I shot them at 1.4 and 2.0 just because the 1.4 can't get the 1.2. Those tests show that the 50 1.2 is sharper at those low f2, f1.8, 1.4. It does win the sharpness test versus the 1.4. So eyelashes, eyes, skin, everything is, it's much more sharp. You can see it like clear as day how much sharper it is. But I also did a test when I'm at f8, f10, f11, f13 with both of these lenses. I had a model in studio, I used studio lights and all that, and I had those f-stops. Side by side, the pictures looked the same. I was surprised. So there was no difference, and I really couldn't tell which one was what lens because now the whole face is sharp. All the hairs are distinct, the eyelashes, everything. So when you get up in the f8 range and higher, these lenses seem to be identical. It's when you get to the low end at f1.8, 4, and 2 that the 1.2 lens starts to show it's a better, superior product. So there's a note for somebody that, yes, when you're on low end, this one's sharper. When you're up, I didn't see a difference. Okay, so, and then the contrast, you know, edges of stuff was definitely sharper in the 51.2. So if you take pictures of anything, abstract, buildings, whatever, if you look around the edges of stuff, it's going to be more detailed, and it's like the clarity slider. If you're using it in Lightroom, if you bump the clarity, it gets a little bit more edgy. The 1.2 seems like it had a little bit more contrast than the 1.4. So here, I'll put this lens cap on this, just another little visual demo of, hey, here's a sizing difference of the two lenses, and there you go. It's much bigger and heavier, as I said, and I'm going to say for me, I guess it all comes down to it. I did this test because I was considering getting me another pro level lens, and I wanted to know, I was trying to convince myself, is it going to be worth the money? And so I'm going to vote that right now, for me and my business, it's not really worth me spending $2,300 to buy this 51.2, because I don't think it's going to up my photography game $2,000. I mean, it'll be noticeable to me. Some pictures are sharper, maybe I got some nice bokeh on some, but I was totally happy with this, what this lens was doing for me. And so it wasn't that much of a jump to where I got to do it. And maybe my opinion will change at some point down the line, but I have money. That money can be used somewhere else in my business versus just changing the lens for now. So if I'm making money hands over fist, man, maybe I could invest in something like that, but not right now for me. So hopefully with those comments, somebody else gets something out of what I said to use in their decision-making process. It's a great lens. If you don't have a 50 and you got the money laying around for it, then I think, yeah, it could be definitely, you might as well just go ahead and get this best 50 out there, which is this, if you have the Canon EOS R. But if you don't, then yeah, then why spend that? If you already have an EF lens, or you have the other Canon 1.2, the L series, might as well just stay there. So there's my take on it. I hope that video is worth something. I haven't been on YouTube making videos for, seems like about a month or so, because I didn't think I had anything to really drop that was worth speaking about. So hopefully if you like this content, please hit the like button, and please make comments below. I'd like to hear what you guys think about all the 50 millimeters within the Canon lineup. The 1.8, the little cheap one, $125. The 1.4 EF, the L series 1.2, and then this new RF 1.2. If you have any of those lenses, please comment. What I will say about the Canon 1.8 50 millimeter one is about $100. I don't like the lens. I think it's a waste of $100, because I did buy one. Everybody said you should have one in your bag just in case of a backup. Just have it in there for a safety net. And I used it sometimes. I tried it, and then I dropped it one time on the floor, and the floor was a tile floor, and it bounced. And when it hit the ground and bounced one time, it actually hit and bounced up, and I caught it after it bounced one time. But that bounce ruined the lens. It would never focus again. The motor just kept bouncing around. And so it's a characteristic of that lens that things are just plastic and really cheap inside. And if you take any kind of rugged handling of that lens, you're going to ruin the focus motor. And at $100, you don't get that fix. You just basically throw it away and you go buy another one. So I opted not to do that. I bought this other 51.4, which was $350 when I bought it. And this one is built a lot better build quality. It's sturdier, it's heavier. It's a little bit longer, so it has a real focus ring on it. That 51.8, the focus ring is real skinny in the front, and I don't like it. So some people swear by it. I would say don't get the 51.8, get the 51.4. You get one more stop of light on this, and it's built better. and it can take a little bit more rough handling than the other one. So like I said, if you have 50 millimeters in the Canon lineup, please chime in with your comments. I'd like to hear what those comments are. And okay guys, so at this point in the video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to bring in some test shots that I took and show some side-by-sides just for a few examples right now. All right, everybody, on the left we have a 51.2 photo, and on the right 51.4. As you can see at this distance, you cannot really tell which one is sharper or which one is not. There's little to no difference. These are shot at f10. When I zoom in, it will be more of the same. You will not be able to see a noticeable difference. Here's the zoomed in version, 51.2 on the left, 51.4 on the right, and they are both sharp at the nose, the lips, the eyes, the eyelashes. Everything is sharp at f10. This next photo, same thing. We're at 2.0 on both lenses, and you can't see a noticeable difference between the two shots. The 51.4 is on the left this time, and the 51.2 is on the right. I can't see anything that's really noticeable on sharpness or clarity or anything. When you zoom in though, this is at f2.0, you can see that the photo on the left is a little softer on her eyeball, and then the one on her right. One on her right, the skin under her eye is very sharp, so that's the 1.2. And if you have EOS R comments, definitely drop some of those as well. So once again, hit a like, share it with somebody, and until next time, this is Rich Monier from Paul Marcus Photos. Peace.